Aí ninguém achou ruim, inclusive. Nenhum dos heróis acharam ruins. Vamos lá. Começar os trabalhos. Ai, cara, não vai conseguir ficar... São monges. Ele não vai conseguir sumir. Karlak, vai lá. Estampa aí, ó. Defesa alta, pera aí. Ataque temerário. Dale. Mais uma. Boa. Eita ferro. Erro crítico. Ataque de oportunidade. Errou. Caraca, veio atrás do coitado. Caraca, ela deu 6 ataques. 6 ataques. Três. Tem outro. Assustador. Não, querido. Esqueceu da regra, cara? Olha aí, gritou. Alvenaria. Deixa eu ver aqui. Chama sagrada, 35%. 100% lá embaixo, hein? Vamos lá. Boa. De leve. Avança pra ficar na posição boa. Eu vou ter que curar o Karlak de novo. Deixa eu ver se consigo aqui com a bônus. Palavra curativa, nível 4. Pode ser. Caraca, a Karlak tá apanhando muito, velho. Vendetta. Aí, agora sim. Nó. Cara, vou usar destruição divina nível 2. Caraca, critou os dois, velho. E aí eu tenho um ataquezinho, um segundo ataque. E aí, putz, não vou usar. O 3 mataria, né? Ah, e o Astário finaliza, pô. Nossa, tio. É isso aí, não esperava menos, hein? Ó, escondeu dessa vez. Karlak. Ataque temerário. Dali. Acho que talvez eu tenha que entrar em fúria com ela. E uma poçãozinha de cura. Sou eu bola de fogo, o calor tá de matar. Esse imperador também tá de sacanagem, viu? Pô, meu irmão. Cara, acho que aqui agora vai ser raio tratante. 65% de chance de acerto. Ah, mas se eu for com minha lança é 70%. Deixa eu ver o que é que eu tenho aqui de magia. Pô, tem banimento, né, cara? Nível 3. Silêncio. Guardiões espirituais. Acho que vai ser esse aqui, hein? Ou lança maldição. Ou raio lacerante. Não, tá melhor fazer o lance do Guardiões. Radiante ou dano necrótico. Preciso me aproximar um pouquinho mais deles. foi de arrasta. A ideia era essa. Consegue chegar lá, meu consagrado? Então pula. Pulando você chega. Ah, que ótimo, não pulou. Pera aí. Cheguei. Não! Cheguei e dei misclick. Faltou o crítico, hein? Ah, que delícia. Pera aí, cara. Nossa, desumilde. Tô falando que o Astar é desumilde demais, amigo. Tá faltando quem? Tá faltando ali. Você consegue subir ali, Karlak? Segue. Opa. E aí, bebê? Ataque temerário. Estampa. Não pode errar. Dá outra. Isso. Pô, um empurrãozinho ia ser muito bem-vindo agora. Eu pensei que isso poderia acontecer. E eu ainda pensei, porra, pode ser que ela empurre Karlak lá embaixo. Nossa.
Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
Vou perguntar de novo, quem é você? Dessa vez, melhor me dizer seu nome.
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain. The one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stillmain. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. but I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become.
Maneiro! Gortash era dos escolhidos da colônia.
Indeed. His hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an elder brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you.
Você teve que comer cérebro de bandidos?
Rather them than potential future allies, like you.
Você vai me contar qual é o motivo da batalha?
We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power. He refused. And so she sealed him within this prison. His honor guard, ever loyal, followed him in. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control.
Você também ficou em cárcere aqui?
No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You.
Sinistro. Por que o Orpheus se recusou a ajudar Blackith?
I do not have the privilege of knowing the answer, but the consequences are clear enough. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished.
Uma pena que a... Caraca, já até esqueci o nome da... A Lae'zel não tá conosco. O que acontece se libertarmos o Orpheus?
That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him. And in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion. A pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid. A sworn enemy, just like me.
Somos parecidos em outros aspectos. Quanto mais falo com você, menos você parece um devorador de mentes.
I appreciate that. But this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel. But the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change.
Por que você acha isso?
I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential.
Caraca,
I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you.
Caraca, maluco, isso ficou muito bom, véi. Qual seria a consequência? Velho. Eu não vou fazer isso com o Paladino. Mas isso ficou interessantíssimo, velho.
You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Se você consegue me evoluir, por que você não para a Seremorfose em definitivo?
The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an Illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not?
Caraca, sinistro, velho. Não, nem... Putz. Eu preciso salvar o jogo, galera. Porque eu não vou jogar tudo de novo. E ó, a opção oficial será não nem pensar. Porque eu sou um paladino, cara. O paladino, ele tem suas crenças, ele tem suas ambições, que na verdade não são ambições. Não são ganâncias, na verdade. E longe disso de ser mais poderoso e tal, ele quer resolver o problema, mas sem vender a alma ao diabo. Mas eu quero ver o que é que vai acontecer. Sim, quero ver.
Well, certainly brave of you. I'll say that much.
You continue to surprise me. Your mind is truly something special. Now, hold out your hand. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
O que é?
A tadpole, nurtured by the psionic energy of the astral plane. Cocooned here for millennia, it has become extraordinary.
Abre sua mente para a lava.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens, its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
You are exquisite. When your allies see what you can do, I hope you encourage them to try it for themselves. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain and bring it under our control.
Meio Illithid. Velho, apareceram habilidades mais poderosas. Tá, mas não vai rolar. Não é isso que eu quero pro meu personagem. Por mais que tenha sido legal pra caramba, não é o que eu quero pro meu personagem. A gente vai carregar o jogo. Só queria ver o que aconteceu. Eu pensei que aparecer tentáculos e tal, mas só mudou a cor da mão. E apareciam umas manchas no rosto. Mas, interessante.
One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well, the limited form you have. But you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not?
Não, nem pensar.
I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced elder brain. But in case you change your mind...
Olha! Ele deu item, cara.
Look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
Ah lá, e ter obtido lava astral, segura no meu pé. É, rapaz, foi interessante, hein? Não? Não dá pra conversar com o brother não, né?
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable, but impenetrable.
Dá pra libertar o cara ainda, hein? Mas não, deixa ele aí.
The Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
Pronto. Agora nós temos um acesso direto para o plano astral. Temos que resar a Karlach, né? Cadê o Funestos? Coitada da Karlach, velho. Tá caindo até agora no abismo do plano astral. Pior que como a gente tá dentro de uma instância, o Funestos não vai estar aqui. Eu vou ter que utilizar pergaminhos. Não tenho nenhum. Eu acho que a Shadow ela já tem magia de ressurreição. Nível 3.
I must keep going.
Bem-vinda de volta. Vamos salvar o jogo. Que noite, meus amigos. Que noite.
I
by Baldur'S bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything?
Bom, tem a questão da duquesa Stelmane e o Cabelo dos Escudos.
How could I forget? One of Baldur's Gate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the Illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it.
O Imperador promete poderes incríveis se estivermos dispostos a persegui-los.
Yes, and at a great cost, partial ceremorphosis. I'm not about to make such a sacrifice. Not now, not ever.
Persuasão. O futuro da Costa da Espada está em risco, precisamos buscar esse poder. Eu entendo, não vou meter essa não. Não vou meter essa não, mas essa é doutor. Vamos lá, primeiro Will. Claro que o Brahma vai ser a última. Com certeza o Astarion vai querer esse rolê.
Soldier.
O Imperador nos ofereceu uma lava especial. Nós nos tornaremos devoradores de mentes parciais, mas obtivemos grande poder em troca.
Special, Tadpole? Bit of a contradiction in terms, don't you think? I don't even want a regular one. You're talking about turning into what? A half squid? Not surprised you haven't tried it yourself yet.
Eu entendo se você não quiser fazer uso dele, não vamos falar sobre isso outra vez.
Thank the gods.
Aí, cara, ninguém quer, velho. Eu acho que o Astarion vai querer.
Wanna dance? Look where Boo!
The dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in his mouth.
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
Vamos ver o loot. Uma poção de falar com animais, tá bom. Eu usei a minha magia de falar com animais pra ganhar uma poção de falar com animais. Bola do coçada. Ah, moleque. Caraca, eu lembrei muito do Fable 2, velho. O coçada lembra muito do Fable 2.
At least things have stayed interesting. Best be on my way.
So your confidant was a mind flayer all along. Disquieting, to say the least.
Sabe que eu não encontrei aqui no acampamento agora? Jahira, Jahira.
Quite the rug pull, eh? A mind flayer manipulating us this whole time. Such creatures are not to be trusted as a general rule, though this one does appear to have had a significant hand in our survival up to this point. At best, an ally whose motivations remain shrouded in deceit. We should be wary of what such an alliance may cost us.
Nós recebemos um presente raro, uma lava de toque astral. Talvez ele queira também, hein?
I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt the biology of a mind flayer.
You've not taken this power for yourself. So I can only wonder, why offer it to me?
Ok, deixa pra lá. Aí, ele não diz nem que sim, nem que não. Esse rapazinho aqui, ele vai querer. Cara, a Jahira, brother.
We owe our lack of tentacles to one of the very creatures that kidnapped us. And now it's offering us power if we're willing to evolve.
Quero discutir a lava do toque astral.
We both know what it is capable of, but I'm not touching it.
Olha, recusou. Não é a sua cara ficar tão resistente a receber um novo poder.
That was before I knew the cost. Before I knew it meant transforming into some grotesque beast. I remember how it hurt when I turned into a vampire. My body writhed and warped while I was utterly helpless. The grip of death owned my heart as it beat its last. I don't want to turn into anything else. I can't do that again. I can't watch my body be taken over.
Olha aí. Tudo bem, vamos lá.
If we master the tadpoles, it will be different. But right now, that mastery depends on an Elithid and its Githyanki's slave. I'm not going to submit to this. Don't ask me again.
Cara. Agora eu fiquei chateado. Cadê a Jahira, brother? O Nessus tá aqui, beleza. A Jahira não... Ah, tá aqui. Não. Pô, velho, a Jahira não veio.
Be gone, friend. I have a darling to adore.
Cara, não acredito, velho. E o pior nem isso. A Jahira não veio. E esse arrombado do Halsin tá aqui. E tinha desaparecido. Procurando ela aqui, eu tô vendo se ela não tá em algum lugar que eu não, de repente não explorei. Opa. Ah, ufa, tá aqui. Ah, que sorte. Que sorte não, que alívio.
So your mysterious artifact, tamer of parasites, is only another parasite itself. How do you feel? Knowing the cost of keeping your transformation at bay.
Melhor, na verdade. Agora eu conheço a verdade da natureza do artefato. O Imperador foi um aventureiro como nós, um protetor da cidade. Isso não conta nada?
No notions of heroism put you above human failings. I should know. I've had my share of songs written about me. Illithids are monstrous creatures. But in the end, they are only that. Creatures.
É, tá lá no livro dos
And if
monstros.
it can, a parasite will keep its host fat, happy, and safe. Until it is finished feeding, at least. Am I comforting you? I am not comforting myself. Use the Emperor as it would use you. Or discard it. My days of doubting you are done.
Agora que estamos viajando juntos, notei que eu não sei muito a seu respeito. Boa.
That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme.
É verdade, você lutou contra os 3 mortos antes? Ih!
It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And, bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder?
Você não é tão velho assim, é?
I've passed enough years that counting them is a waste of what remains. Which is to say, yes, I am that old.
Queria perguntar uma coisa.
Ask it.
Você disse que poderia saber algo sobre os Elitides.
More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I.
Com quem será que você está falando? Talvez eu seja o parasita controlando seu corpo, não é sacanagem. Dessa vez é diferente. O próprio cérebro se é um escravo.
Do not be moved to pity. It is a predator pinned in a trap. And if it wriggles free, you'll find it still has teeth.
Por último, vamos falar com ela. A musa do verão.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something?
Temos algo especial. Queria falar do relacionamento. Acho que a lava especial do Imperador ofereceu pode aumentar nossas chances de sucesso.
More likely it would just put a stop to us. I wanted nothing to do with those illithid powers before. What makes you think I'd want to jump into an even deeper hole?
É, meu amigo, só...
You know what that offer truly entails, don't you? Become half a mind flayer, lose half of yourself. I don't want that.
Boa, tudo bem. Você já se decidiu, não vou bater boca. Ou seja, só o Gale ficou aberto a receber o Elitide. Somente o Gale. Bom, galera, eu vou encerrando esse vídeo por aqui. Muito obrigado a você que assistiu. Por favor, não se esqueça de deixar o like no vídeo, se inscrever no canal e ativar o sininho para vocês não perderem nenhum conteúdo. Vou ficando por aqui. Fiquem bem. Até a próxima. Tchau, tchau.